One of my favorite things to watch around Christmas time is How the Grinch Stole Christmas, a cute and lovable Dr. Seuss tale that perfectly encaptures the holiday spirit. And I'm not talking about the new-ish movie, I'm talking about the 30-minute TV cartoon that usually airs in early December. I mean, how can you not love this song?
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
The Grinch is probably most people's favorite character, as he receives a perfect mix of comedic wickedness. But is what we see on TV the true story of How the Grinch Stole Christmas? Or is there a deeper conspiracy lying beneath the plot lines? Ready for a theory? Hey everyone, it's CTO of the Theory channel, and let's get right into this colorful Christmas cartoon. Wow, just some alliteration on animation, right? But anyway, this holiday special definitely has something hidden beneath its surface. If you don't know, How the Grinch Stole Christmas is set in a town called Whoville, in which a population of Whos live. Way up on a mountain, there's a Scrooge-type Who called the Grinch, whose goal is to stop Christmas from coming. After dressing up as Santa Claus and stealing stockings and presents from all over the town, he finally realizes the true Christmas spirit and gives back everything he stole. At least that's how the Dr. Seuss cartoon version goes. I've actually never seen the 2000 live-action movie, but I've heard that it deviates from the cartoon plot a ton, so I won't be including any aspects of it in today's theory. There have been connections, though, to another Dr. Seuss cartoon, Horton Hears a Who. A couple YouTube channels, like Cartoon Conspiracy, have noticed how in both How the Grinch Stole Christmas and Horton Hears a Who, there are towns called Whoville, and Whos live in them. Much more is revealed about the Whos in Whoville and Horton Hears a Who. We see that they live on a tiny speck of dust, and in order to survive, they make as much noise as possible to show the jungle animals that they exist. So the question has been, is the Whoville in Horton Hears a Who the same as the one in The Grinch? Both sides have been argued, but I don't think they're the same place. This is mainly due to the fact that we see other specks of dust in Horton Hears a Who, and it's really intriguing to think that each of the Dr. Seuss tales take place on a particular one of them. Hence, I think that How the Grinch Stole Christmas takes place on a speck of dust, but a different speck of dust, one that's probably frozen over. But on to my real theory for today, that the Grinch was actually possessed. So we know that the Grinch has been so-called tolerating Christmas for 53 years, which, by the way, is no random number. The number 53 is an angelic sign that something important in your life is about to change. Like, for instance, trying to destroy something that's been pestering you for an extremely long period of time. But anyway, have you ever questioned why the Grinch would wait a whole 53 years before trying to do anything to stop Christmas from coming? Well, going back to why he hates Christmas in the first place, the Grinch makes it clear towards the beginning of the cartoon that he despises all the noise that's created on Christmas Day. It's quite interesting, considering the Whos need to make noise to stay alive. So, was the Grinch attempting to mass murder? Maybe. The point is that the Grinch, even though perceived as a Scrooge-type cartoon character, actually doesn't hate Christmas at all. He just hates the noise that stems from it. But why would the Grinch, someone who lives in Whoville himself, want to kill the other Whos by silencing them? Well, maybe the Grinch was never acting on his own accord. Maybe he used to be just an ordinary Who was possessed by a higher evil power. Just think about it. If whatever's possessing the Grinch wants to kill all the Whos, it would have programmed him to want to silence them, since they would then wink out of existence. And what does the Grinch rant about for the first 5 minutes of the show? How he can't stand the noise the Whos make. We then see the Grinch make a plan to stop Christmas and put it into action, but notice how his evilness completely runs away when he encounters Cindy Lou Who in her house. With almost every kind of possession, there's a way to break it, and in some kinds, it's just by saying a word or sensing a feeling in someone's voice. The Grinch supposedly gets choked up here because he's thinking of a good lie, but what's really happening is that he's trying to break out of the possession that he's under. The sweet, innocent, and joyful tone of Cindy Lou Who is melting away the Grinch's evil facade, until he snaps back under the possession and goes on with his wrongdoings. And it's the exact same thing at the end. When all the Whos start to sing, despite the fact that their presents were stolen, the Grinch finally breaks through his possession because of all the joy. It wasn't his heart becoming 3 times bigger, it was his mind becoming free. And then the Grinch goes back to being a regular Who, just like all the others in Whoville, which was his true nature all along. But wait a minute, who in their right mind would want to kill all these innocent people? The Whos are extremely unnoticeable, as they're microscopic, living on specks of dust, and I think that's exactly why they're called Whos. Who, as in, I've never heard of them before. So, who would want to kill them? Could it be the animals in the Horton Hears a Who jungle? Could it be the narrator from The Grinch? Could it be Dr. Seuss himself? No, probably not, but it is fun to theorize on. Let me know who you guys think possessed the Grinch by commenting down in, well, the comment section. Also, subscribe so you don't miss any future theories, like the one coming next week about, I'm not quite sure yet. Any suggestions? This was a really fun video to make, and The Grinch is a really fun movie to cover. And this theory would mean that he actually was never a bad guy, just a possessed ordinary Who. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later.